Goku and Beerus would begin to release a gigantic power, making the whole dimension shake, creating several portals. However, they still didn't have enough power to get out of that place.
Interesting. It seems we're trapped by a high-level divine seal.
Ha ha ha! But that won't be enough to stop us! Our power surpasses all the seals they put on!
That's right. But for now, it's correct that we can't get out. But in a short time, we will.
Goku and Daishinkan began to train again, but this time to release a power beyond its limits. Goku, in his mind, would be able to see the transformation of the Super Saiyan Phase 4, for which he needed his tail. However, in his mind, he would hear again the voice of Whis.
Mr. Goku, I know that we would achieve the Super Saiyan Phase 3 combined with the Ultra Instinct now. His new evolution will be the Super Saiyan Phase 4, for which he has already foreseen that he would need his tail.
At that moment, Goku's tail would grow again, not suffering any superficial change.
So by recovering my tail, I'll have much more power. This is great! It's time to start training much harder than before.
Goku and Beerus would begin with one of their last training sessions. That's right, the final battle was about to be decided. Meanwhile, outside the room, Daishinkan was preparing an army to face the King of Everything. His guardians and his counterpart, what this Daishinkan did not foresee, was that his counterpart and the King of Everything of this era, as well as his guardians, were also training.
I'm very close to banish that damn dwarf. I swear that I'll shatter him with all my power.
At that moment, the Vermouth god of Universe 11 would appear in front of Daishinkan.
Vermouth, what can I do for you?
Great Daishinkan-sama. I don't know if it's wise, but why don't we ask for the help of a Super Saiyan warrior with the Super Dragon Balls?
That's a great idea. I have an idea. Since the gods are on our side, we'll go to Universe 10 and use one of the time rings.
Daishinkan and Vermouth would head to Universe 10, arriving quickly, where they were greeted by the Supreme Kaio-sama. Daishinkan would explain everything, asking for a Ring of Time. The Kaio would not deny it. At that moment, Daishinkan and Vermouth, thanks to a super portal managed to reach a new timeline. They gathered the Super Dragon Balls in a few moments.
Now yes, it's time! Great God Zarma, come out and fulfill my desire.
At that moment, the great god Zarma would appear.
Tell me what is your wish. I can fulfill anything. You as the all-knowing being, I want you to bring to life an extremely powerful warrior. I understand. It is a very easy wish to fulfill. His name is Archon, but he is also known as the Swordsman of Death.
Zarma's eyes at that moment would shine. The whole place where they were began to see in lightning, earthquakes, and in other disasters. That's right, the being he had brought to life was an incredibly powerful being.
This level of strength is amazing. How are you feeling, Vermouth?
Daishinkan realized that the god Vermouth was not able to breathe. He would create a barrier with which he would be able to move again.
Who is it that brought me to life? This is fascinating.
It's us, Archon. We need your help.
But you're Daishinkan-sama, cursed. Because of you, I was annihilated millions of years ago.
You're wrong. Deku-sama was my father. I'm Daishinkan-sama, his protagonitor.
So Dekuso's son has brought me back to life. This is interesting.
All the Destroyer Gods and I have organized a revelation against Zeno-sama and Daishinkan from another timeline. Will you help us rule everything?
Of course I will. I'll wipe out every divine being that gets in our way, especially the King of Everything.
Daishinkan would say to himself,
that guy that Zarma brought to life seems to have an impressive grudge against Zeno-sama. This is perfect. This way it'll be much more effective.
Daishinkan was about to leave together with Vermouth and Archon, however Archon would tell him something.
I want you to bring my brother to life. He'll be of great help. He's the 007 swordsman.
Understood, but we must go to another timeline, but one question. Why 007?
That's the number of beings he's annihilated. A being that only wiped out 7 subjects. Do you really think he's helpful to us? Simple, God. Wait for your superior to finish speaking.
He has annihilated 7 beings in his entire existence, but the 7 are the kings of the entire fallen multiverse. Daishinkan would be very surprised because millions of years ago, a rumor spread through the 12 multiverses, and it said that a guy ended the lives of 7 kings of the whole.
So the rumor was true after all. A being who killed 7 kings of everything, even sacrificed himself to not kill the most powerful king of everything.
So, you know the story. That's right, he's my brother. His name is Kimura, the 007 Swordsman.
Of course we'll bring him back to life. Don't worry.
Daishinkan of Vermouth and Archon would quickly create a new portal going to a new timeline. When they arrived, they did the same as in the previous one, only this time they revived the 007 Swordsman. Nothing had happened, no noise or explosion.
So, after millions of years, they have brought me back to life.
Well, long time no see, brother.
So you remember me. That's good, Kimura.
I wouldn't be such a scum to forget my own brother. But tell me, why did you bring me back to life? Archon began to explain everything that had happened and that they were about to face the king of everything, Zeno-sama, and take over this multiverse. Kimura, very excited, would accept. At that moment, everyone would return to their original timeline. But before we start the great battle, I'll end the lives of the remaining 4 kings of everything. Daishinkan was about to say something, but Kimura had already disappeared from that place.
Damn it! If that guy gets in trouble, it'll be a problem, since none of the other kings know that he has come back to life.
Don't worry, priest. Nothing bad'll happen. I can assure you that. Daishinkan would stop thinking about what happened, starting to organize all his team. That's right, all the gods were even already immune to Zeno-sama's racing power. Meanwhile, in the time room, Goku and Beerus would be in the terminal phase of their training. That's right, Whis, by granting Goku all the Saiyan knowledge, was able to break all his limits. It's time! By Whis giving me knowledge, I'm sure I won't lose my mind. Goku at that moment would create an artificial moon in his hand, throwing it to the sky, and Goku would begin to observe it. In that same instant, Goku would begin to transform to that gigantic Ozaru. Goku, are you alright? Can you control that state? Of course I am, Mr. Beerus. This gigantic Ozaru will not lose his mind. Goku at that moment would begin to transform into the Super Saiyan Phase 4, but before finishing his transformation, Goku would combine it with his Divine Ki, observing the variants of the Super Saiyan Blue Phase 4 and the Ultra Instinct Phase 4. Both new transformations broke all the laws of the logic of the power, since a simple Saiyan was able to overcome the power of an Angel Supreme level. Mr. Beerus, I'm ready to begin our revenge. I think that's great, Goku, but don't be in a hurry. Control all that power so you don't wear out your energy. You're right, Mr. Beerus. Let's train for a while longer so we'll be able to finish those bastards quickly. Goku and Beerus would begin with their last training, where they both trained their peace of mind and spiritual base. Meanwhile, with Daishinkan and Archon, it had already been a week since Kimura had left, but at that moment Kimura would appear in front of everyone.
Did you defeat all the other kings except for Zeno-sama?
That's right, it was too easy. The only problem was the king of the most powerful everything.
Daishinkan couldn't believe that the Kimura of the 007 Swordsman possessed. However, Daishinkan would come out of his astonishment when he'd hear Kimura again.
Tell us, priest, when are we going to finish with this king of the multiverse? I can't wait to do it.
I ask you to be patient, please. Very soon we'll bring down that damned one.
At that moment, all the other destroyer gods would arrive, which had increased their power in an unreal way, being so much that even the power of some of them was compared to the power of their guardian angel.
We're all ready. I don't know what the hell we're waiting for.
You're right, Kimura. Tomorrow we'll give the final blow to the kingdom of everything. So get ready, all of you.
All the gods bowed as a sign of being ready for battle. However, at that moment, a strong tremor would be felt throughout the universes, and an extremely impressive power would be present. That's right, it was the power of Zeno-sama, his guardians, and the great priests.
This can't be! The power of those bastards has increased in an amazing way. I can't believe it!
Well, despite being only 3 warriors, it'll be a very fun battle since their power's not low at all. It's time to attack! I won't let them catch us off guard.
Wait! Don't predict. I know you're very powerful, but we must have a strategy.
On that occasion, Daishinkan's right. The most powerful of that king, although he doesn't compare to the power of the most powerful king, I'm sure it could cause you problems.
Gods, create the Super Destroyer.
All the gods would create the Super Destroyer again, however this time the power it gave off was even more powerful than when Beerus joined them.
This power is amazing. I can't believe that all this power is flowing through all my ki veins. Well, we are 4 against 4 since 2 of the Guardians will face my Destroyer and Archon, while Kimura will face Zeno-sama and me with my counterpart. Any doubt?
Nothing to be heard in the whole place.
So, now it's time to attack. Let's go!
At that moment, the 4 beings would increase their power to the maximum, being perceived by the 4 beings of the whole realm.
So Daishinkan was right. These guys are ready to finish this off.
At that moment, a portal would open in front of all of them. But that's right, Daishinkan had overlooked something since there were 2 Zeno-samas, so there were also 4 Guardians.
Plan B. Time to finish them off with a big wave of energy.
All would create a giant sphere of energy of massive destruction, being received by a wave of energy by the beings of the Kingdom of Everything. After a few minutes, their attacks colliding, a gray explosion would be created. Daishinkan and Zeno-sama would be surprised to observe another Daishinkan. However, they would not say anything, and at that moment, a great battle would begin, in which all in a matter of a few moments that the battle had begun, 2 of the Guardians had fallen into the hands of Kimura, while Daishinkan, of an attack of energy, had left the Destroyer on the verge of death. In that moment, Kimura would be in front of Zeno-sama, and both would observe each other fixedly.
I'll not let you destroy my universe. I swear we'll finish you in that evil version of Daishinkan.
I will finish you. You don't deserve that power. The king of everything should not be a simple child. I'll fight to the end with you, evil part. Let's see who dies first.
The great battle for the future of Zeno-sama's multiverse had begun. That's right, depending on which side won, the destiny of the universe would be defined. Both Daishinkan were fairly even matched, which annoyed his evil side.
Damn it! How is it possible that you have the same power as me? I come from the future! My power must be much higher than yours, you damn worm! As you know, we priests have much more developed perception of danger. That's why I started training.
Meanwhile, with Kimura, he was in a great battle with Zeno-sama. That's right, the battle of both was the most devastating. They were moving through all the universes and all the space-time at an extremely impressive speed. At that moment, both would take a little distance to recover for a few seconds.
Your power is much higher than the so-called king of the most powerful everything. With you, I've been able to enjoy again what a real battle is. The same thing. I've always remained in the shadows as the weakest king of all, but when I transform, I know that my power surpassed the most powerful king.
Both subjects began again with their battle, which destroys each planet of the 12 universes since the collision of their fists released destructive energy as well as angelic energy, thus creating the planets who do not withstand the power of both energies combined. Meanwhile, with Archon, this was an easy battle, something that even both Guardians. However, it was not so easy due to the fact that he didn't have it too easy to say so. However, he did not have it so easy because the power of the Guardians had also increased in an impressive way, being able to sometimes give him some blows which wounded him for a few minutes. However, Archon was not behind, since he also received them with blows that a normal being was hardly able to withstand.
Damn useless servants! You're giving me more problems than I imagined. We are the Guardians, the king of everything. So we must have great power to be able to be at this level. We do not depend only on his power.
Meanwhile, in the Room of Time, Goku and Beerus had finally finished their last training, since at that very moment the voice and the silhouette of Whis could be observed for the last time in the room where they were. You have finished with your training. I congratulate you. With the training you have done, no angel and even a great priest would be able to defeat you. But do not trust, because in all universes there are always beings that can impress you. Whis, I know you can't hear me, since it's only energy that is talking to us, but I promise that one way or another, I'll bring you back to life. You're like a father to me. Mr. Whis, thank you very much. I swear to avenge your death. We won't let you down. Goku and Beerus at that very moment began to increase their power to the maximum, being able to explode the Room of Time without any difficulty. At the moment that both warriors left, an incredible power was felt by all the 12 universes. That's right, Goku and Beerus had not been contained in the least, feeling their power even the warriors who were fighting in the Kingdom of Everything. However, at that moment, they left completely since they appeared in space since Daishinkan had destroyed the Earth. That bastard was not enough to lock us in that damned place. He also destroyed the Earth. I swear that this day, I'll finish with that bastard. Goku, apparently the Daishinkan of the future is in that palace of the whole thing. A great battle is taking place. Goku and Beerus at that moment began to fly at an amazing speed through all the universes, even being able to create space-time gaps. Returning to the battle, all beings had been paralyzed by the power that could be felt. This is the power of Beerus and that Saiyan. This can't be happening. I sealed them with the divine seal. They shouldn't be able to leave. It's a damn nightmare. At that moment, Daishinkan took advantage of the opening to be able to connect a big blow, which would make him fall to the ground very badly wounded. So you're the one who locked up Beerus and Son Goku. Even God Champa was your accomplice. Can't believe he was able to betray his own brother. Daishinkan would recover from the blow and quickly increase his power to the maximum, even surpassing his limits. We must finish these bastards quickly. That Saiyan and Beerus join forces and will be dead. Daishinkan began to beat up his counterpart quickly, because he knew that facing this Saiyan would be a much closer battle than facing a king at all. Daishinkan, having negative energy and taking the battle much more seriously, would be able to quickly leave the present Daishinkan in terrible conditions. Daishinkan would quickly join Archon's help, being able to quickly finish both Guardians. Just like you, I'm also a nervous priest. The power that was felt before was a power that even I'm not able to comprehend. Kimura was having a very even battle with Zeno-sama, and that bothered him more and more, because in all the universes, they're afraid when they hear the name of Kimura, the 007 Swordsman. I don't care if I lose my pride as a warrior. This is a battle, so between the three of us, we'll finish you, you damn king of everything. But I must admit that you've earned my respect. Kimura, Archon, and Daishinkan quickly attacked Zeno-sama, who, despite having an incredible power, would not be able to fight against the three of them at the same time. That's right, the power of the three together had been so much as to leave Zeno-sama wounded in terrible conditions quickly. Even Zeno-sama was able to return to his base state. Hell, if it were the three, I could manage a little, but with the three, it's too much. At that moment, the three warriors launched a great attack, which, when united, would form a great sphere of massive destruction. Zeno-sama at that moment would close his eyes, accepting that the end had arrived. Nevertheless, he would hear a voice that he would recognize at once. My friend Zen-chan, you mustn't worry. I know it's been late, but we've arrived. Great Zeno-sama, don't you have a worry. We're here, and we'll take care of it. Goku at that moment had made the attack so tiny to make it disappear with only two simple fingers. Goku would return to observe them with a cold look. That's right, Goku before arriving had returned to the perfect Ultra Instinct. He didn't want to use his most powerful transformation against the subjects that they were going to face. Observing you, I can see all how your ki is evil, so you leave me no choice but to finish you off. I don't know who you are, and I don't care. I thought that the being that released such power was going to come to this place, but your simple Saiyan can finish you off quickly. Goku, not caring about what the guy had said, would return to observe the destroyer, throwing a small sphere of energy at him. I have given you some of my power. Are you stupid? Don't you know that I'm your enemy? Of course I know, but before we finish you off, we'll torture you. Goku at that precise moment had given a blow to each of them, starting to give a beating to three of them. That's right, Beerus had been left alone with the destroyer, who felt how Beerus crushed him with his pressure. But being the fusion of the 11 gods and angels, he was a little confident. It doesn't matter if you're the most powerful god. You don't have enough power to... The destroyer wasn't able to finish his sentence because at that moment, Beerus had given him such a great blow that it made him spit blood. Because of this damned fault, my master Whis has died.
I swear that I'll make ashes each of his bones, and when they're about to die, I'll give them energy to twist them again. I'll do it as many times as necessary to feel good.
Beerus at that moment would begin to massacre the destroyer. That's right, Beerus at that moment had grabbed him by one of his legs and like a wild beast would hit him with everything that was in front of him, destroying planets, galaxies, stars. Meanwhile, with Goku in the trio of subjects, Goku would remain standing in front of the three, which the only thing he was doing was provoking them.
I didn't know the warriors that you had recruited were so weak, Daishinkan. Really, instead of going forward, you're going backwards. Even with just one of my arms, I'd be able to fight with any of you.
Archon, who had been the angriest, launched himself against Son Goku. However, what Goku said would be true, since Goku's power had grown so much that he was cornering him using only one of his arms. Daishinkan at that moment, furious, launched himself into the attack. Kimura, observing that both launched themselves into the attack, the three warriors thought they had the advantage of being 3 against 1. Well, this was totally wrong, because at that moment, Goku would expel a little of his power. They would make them all go back hundreds of meters. But Goku at lightning speed would hold Daishinkan, teleporting to another dimension.
In this place, 1 year is equivalent to 1 minute in the real world, so I plan to torture you until I'm able to feel good.
Goku at the instant began to torture Daishinkan in a way that seemed to be a beast. The pure hatred Saiyan who loved life seemed to have died. For only 15 minutes, Daishinkan would kneel down in front of Goku.
I'm sorry, Saiyan God Son Goku. I swear I'll go to my timeline. You'll never know anything about me. I'll even revive Whis. Please, spare my life.
Goku at that moment would teleport to Daishinkan's back, and like a beast, he would pierce him with a single punch.
I'll never let an insect like you live. You even dare to destroy my planet!
Goku at that moment would take out his fist and would launch a great attack that would begin to reduce him to simple atoms. While Daishinkan was disintegrating, he was able to say his last words.
No matter what you do, you'll never be at the level of a god. With my death, the angelic world will go against you, and you'll never leave you alone until they kill you.
At that moment, Daishinkan would be completely turned into dust. Goku would come out of the dimension without warning. He'd give a big blow to Kimura and Archon, which were heading against Beerus. When Beerus felt the god power of Goku again, he knew he had finished with the life of Daishinkan.
It's time to end your pathetic life. Even your Champa betrayed me.
Beerus at that moment would throw a great sphere of Kai against him and turn the destroyer into ashes. At that moment, Beerus would stand next to Goku. At the same instant, both subjects had returned from the blow that Goku had given them.
I want to face the guy named Kimura. It's said that he's able to kill kings. I want to be able to see if he can kill a simple Saiyan. Alright, then I'll take on the other guy.
At that moment, the four warriors began their great battle. But something that Daishinkan said was true, since in the Angelic Realm, the powerful Nin was furious when she perceived that the vital energy of one of her creations had disappeared.
I don't care who exterminated him. I want them to finish with that damned guy.
At that moment, the castle where the girl named Nin would explode. Nin was furious. In spite of blowing up her castle, she had not caused any damage. At that moment, one of her most powerful angels approached Nin.
Nin-sama, why are you so angry? What happened?
Mikotion, you as the third most powerful angel of the Angelic Realm, I entrust you with the mission to finish with the wretch that ended Daishinkan's life.
Does anyone have the power to end the life of an angel of supreme level?
That's right, Mikotion. That's why I chose you. Your way of fighting is very wild, and I know you'll be able to finish that damn plague. As you command, Nin-sama, with your permission, I'll go to fulfill my destiny. At that moment, Mikotion at a great speed would leave the Angelic Realm. That's right, Mikotion was heading to the multiverse of Zeno-sama at an incredible speed. Meanwhile, with the Battle of All, Goku little by little was putting in great trouble to Kimura. That's right, Goku was not even using his maximum power, but he was able to put him against the ropes. While Beerus, being a little weaker than Goku, was in an even battle against Archon. While they were fighting, Daishinkan and Zeno-sama were surprised observing such a destructive battle.
My friend Goku's become a very powerful being. His power is so great that he's even capable of facing Kimura, the king-killing swordsman. I can't believe the power Mr. Beerus and Saiyan Goku has achieved.
At that moment, Kimura would fall heavily towards the planet, standing up with great difficulty. That's right, Goku's power was dulling him more and more.
I'm tired of playing with you. You don't have enough power to do anything to me. I better finish you right now.
Don't say stupid things. You're so exhausted, the only thing you're doing is showing off. Your power's great, but I'm not an insect that I can't force you to use all of your power.
Did you think I was using all my power? You're a poor worm. You're not worthy of me using all my power on you.
This must be a fucking nightmare. The greatest king killer is about to be defeated by a mere mortal.
Before you die, I'll show you the power that you could never defeat. From the beginning, I was only playing with you.
Goku at that moment would begin to increase his power in an incredible way, being able to make all the universes tremble. Goku's hair was growing. At that moment, a great light would leave everyone without vision for a few seconds. After that, Goku would be observed in an Ultra Instinct Phase 3.
This is the Super Saiyan Phase 3, combined with the Ultra Instinct. Although I've still much more power transformation, you're not worthy of observing it.
Kimura at that moment would begin to tremble since he stopped feeling Son Goku's ki, and Kimura, being an experienced warrior, knew what this meant.
If I stopped feeling his power, that means that the ki of that Saiyan is in another dimension much higher than mine.
I hope you're ready to die. Since by this transformation, I'm able to finish you with a single blow, since I can't control my strength.
Kimura at that moment would try to escape at a high speed, however an incredible gravity would fall on his body.
What were you planning to do? Did you think I'd let you escape after knowing that you collaborated with Daishinkan? I've had enough of humiliating you, so now I'm going to finish you off.
Even if you finish me off, there'll always be existing beings more powerful than you and me, and they'll be able to crush you without pity.
No matter what happens, one way or another I'll be able to defeat them. We Saiyans have no limits.
Goku at that moment would throw a powerful Kamehameha, beginning to reduce them to simple atoms. When he disappeared, he cursed Goku at that same moment. Beerus, in the same way, had finished the life of Archon.
At last it's all over. Whis, I've avenged you.
At that moment, Zeno-sama together with Daishinkan would approach both warriors.
Are you still Goku, Beerus?
At that moment, Goku would return to his base state, giving a big smile.
Of course I am, Daishinkan. Now that I've overcome the power of an angel, I can feel that your power is completely pure. Nothing compared to your version of the future.
My friend Goku, we're glad to hear that you've won this battle, but the Angelic realm must be very upset with the death of the Daishinkan of the future.
That's what Daishinkan said before they killed him. Can you tell us what they meant by the Angelic realm? I didn't know of the existence.
At that moment, lightning would begin to fall from the sky. Mountains of the planet of everything would rise through the atmosphere of the planet. An extremely powerful warrior was above them.
The Angelic realm. It means that all angels have a backup. If someone is able to kill them, we will personally kill that being.
Mikotion, I can't breathe. This pressure's crushing me.
Goku, observing that everyone was suffering from the pressure this beautiful angel was resisting. The only one who could manage to resist any difficulty would be Goku, because at that moment even Beerus would fall to his knees to the ground. Goku would create a large enough energy field so that they wouldn't affect by that woman's pressure.
I don't know who the hell you are, but even your power is much greater than the being that just said to have ended the lives of all the kings of everything. Of course I'm more powerful than that supposed swordsman Kimura. If we compared him to me, it's like trying to confront a mere mortal with the king of everything. The distance of our power is like heaven and earth. I hope you don't go back on your words, since I finished Daishinkan and I'm just a mere mortal. So you're the one whose head I must cut off. This will be super fun. Since I can see that your power is something great, you'll be a great warm-up.
Mikotion at that moment would disappear, and without anyone noticing, she'd be able to deliver a powerful blow to Goku, which would make him go through some mountains of the kingdom completely. Goku would spit blood and would be a little hurt on the ground.
Hell, if I had known this woman was coming, I would have deactivated my Ultra Instinct.
Goku at that moment would activate the Ultra Instinct again, putting himself in front of Mikotion.
With the hit I gave you, I was able to end the life of a king altogether, even the one called Kimura. Tell me, what is your name?
My name's Goku, but I'm also known as Kakarot.
Well, this is going to be very interesting. I'll quickly end your life.
Mikotion at that moment would begin to give a rain of blows to Son Goku, that despite being with the Ultra Instinct, he wasn't able to dodge them. That's right, the power of that woman surpassed him by hundreds of times. Goku on the ground would fall back to his base state.
Did you really end Daishinkan's life? You're too weak.
Goku at that moment would stand up furiously, starting to increase his power to the maximum, accessing the Super Saiyan Phase 3 with the Ultra Instinct, leaving Mikotion a little surprised by such a sudden increase in power.
Wow! You multiplied your power approximately 50 times, but that won't be enough, since my power goes far beyond that.
We won't know until that fight. Zaru body activated! Supreme Endurance! Goku at that moment launched himself against Mikotion, however Mikotion dodged every one of his blows. But when Mikotion connected a blow, his bones were pulverized when they made contact with Goku's body. However, Goku could be sent thousands of meters flying away.
The hardness of your body, as far as I can tell, is multiplied 1,000 times more. You're able to break the bones of my entire right hand.
Goku at that moment would stand up with a very serious look on his face, as if he was a little confused by what happened a few moments ago.
What's going on here? My body's much more resistant than the hardest metal in the universe, and yet she was able to hurt me. That woman's not normal.
Goku would pull out his thoughts and he heard Mikotion's voice behind him.
You are a very smart Saiyan, but how about this?
Mikotion at that moment had thrown a large sphere of energy, which Goku, with expelling his ki, was able to free himself. But at that moment, Goku would feel an incredible pain. That's right, Mikotion was throwing punches with the pressure of his fists, and the body he exerted was so much that even exceeded the resistance of the body of an Ozaru.
If at the moment of hitting you I get hurt, I'll annihilate you with pure air blows. Although they say it's much greater agony, since you can even mix energy and pressure, making your pain agonizing for the opponent.
Goku was not able to do anything since Mikotion was finishing him easily. Goku, while receiving the beating of his life in that instant, would say to himself,
"The power of this woman's incredible. I mustn't hold back. Even if I don't master it 100%, I have to use it. I must prepare to die."
Goku at that moment, in spite of receiving a beating, would begin to accumulate power. Meanwhile, inside the barrier, Beerus was surprised since not even the Power Son Goku was able to bend that woman. That woman, from what I understand, is the third most powerful girl in the Angelic realm, being able to defeat all the kings together and using only one of her arms.
She is mighty Mikotion-sama. I never thought I would have the honor of seeing her in front of me.
Don't say stupid things. That woman's about to kill Son Goku.
We can't do anything. Even if we got out of this energy field, the pressure of any of them would be able to crush us.
Damn, what should I do? We're being humiliated again.
Goku at that moment would give a roar of a beast completely, leaving Mikotion a little astonished. How is it possible to raise his power like that if he's being slaughtered by my blows? It really is a being to be feared.
At that moment, Goku's face combined with an Ozaru would be able to be seen all over the universe, leaving Mikotion terrified.
What's that supposed to be? You're not a mere mortal.
Goku at that moment was accessing Super Saiyan Phase 4 with the combined Ultra Instinct. The power he was releasing was so much that even Mikotion was surprised. From a big explosion, Goku would move at an incredible speed, being able to connect a sneaky punch in Mikotion's stomach, making her kneel. That's right, Goku's power had been so much that even made an angel like Mikotion kneel. However, Mikotion, furious, would perform an advanced angelic technique.
Gendo Sekai!
A great attack like energy arrows and of a white color would invade the entire battlefield. That's right, Mikotion's technique began to destroy everything around the universes, and Goku, with his new transformation, was able to dodge each one of the energy arrows.
His reflexes have improved incredibly. He was able to dodge every single energy arrow.
The power you possess is incredible. Despite using all my power, it won't be an easy battle. Goku and Mikotion at that very moment released a great power, making all the universes tremble and even cracking all around them. What will happen next? Find out in the next chapter. Well guys, this is all for today's chapter. I hope you liked it and it was to your liking. Now don't forget to leave your powerful like Supreme God level, comment, and subscribe. Now without further ado, see you in a new video. Until next time.